Listen to me carefully. Life is not supposed to be easy. If you're sitting there waiting for comfort, waiting for someone to hand you success, you're already losing. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody is going to feel your pain. Nobody is going to fight your battles, except you. You think champions wake up feeling good every day. You think winners get everything handed to them. No, they wake up broken, exhausted, sometimes hopeless, but they move. They drag themselves through the fire because they know one truth: comfort is the coffin of ambition. Every great story, every empire, every legend was built through suffering, through rejection, through late nights, through being laughed at, through failure after failure. And guess what? That pain carved them into something unstoppable. The path to success is not golden. It's rocky, it's brutal, it's lonely. But that's why it's beautiful, because most people quit. Most people will run back to comfort, and if you refuse to quit, if you embrace that pain, you become rare. You become powerful. You become a force. So if you want success, real, undeniable success, stop searching for comfort. Adopt the painful path. Walk it with pride. Pain is not a curse. It is the price you must pay if you want to stand at the top of the mountain. Too many people run from pain, hide from struggle, and bury their heads in comfort as if life owes them something. But success does not care about your feelings. Success does not knock politely on your door and ask if you are ready. Success demands a sacrifice, and that sacrifice is pain. Every single dream you want, every goal you desire, it comes with a cost. The world makes you pay up front with sweat, with blood, with sleepless nights, with rejection, with exhaustion. That's the currency of achievement. The truth is, people who avoid pain are the ones who stay average. They never grow, never break through, never become anything beyond ordinary. Comfort seduces them, tells them to take the easy path, tells them they can have what they want without struggle. And that's the lie most people fall for. Look around. How many people are living the life they truly want? Very few, and the reason is simple. Most are not willing to suffer for it. They want the reward, but they are terrified of the price. You cannot cheat the process. You cannot outsmart the grind. The body you dream of, the business you want to build, the skills you crave, the power, the respect, the financial freedom, all of it is hiding behind pain. Hours in the gym when your muscles are burning and you want to quit. Long nights at the desk when your eyes sting and your brain tells you to give up. Days of hearing no again and again, people laughing at your goals, doubting your worth, whispering that you will never make it. That pain is the test, and if you run from it, the game is already over. Every scar you earn on the way up is proof that you are paying the price. Every failure, every loss, every rejection is not a punishment. It is the tax of greatness. And once you start embracing it instead of resisting it, something changes. Pain stops feeling like torture and starts feeling like progress. That burn in your lungs during a run, that pressure in your chest when you're about to quit, that ache when you sacrifice sleep to get your work done, that is not weakness. That is the sound of you buying your future. Most people think success is about talent or luck. It's not. It's about the one who can endure the most without breaking. The one who can suffer longer than everyone else, stay disciplined when everyone quits, stay focused when distractions scream, and stay relentless when the world tells them to stop. That's why pain is the price tag, because if success was easy, everyone would have it. If building an empire required no struggle, the streets would be full of kings. But it doesn't work that way. Success filters out the weak by making the road unbearable. Only those who decide they will carry that weight, no matter how heavy, ever see the reward at the end. So understand this clearly. If you want success, stop searching for shortcuts. Stop asking how to make it easy. It will not be easy, it will not be smooth, it will not be painless. It will demand more than you think you can give. And in those moments when you're breaking down, when your body says stop, when your mind screams enough, that is the proof you are on the right path. That pain you feel is not the end, it's the price of admission. It's the receipt that tells you greatness is being earned. Comfort is the silent killer of ambition. It creeps in slowly, whispers in your ear, and convinces you that where you are is good enough. Comfort tells you that sleeping in is fine, that skipping the workout won't matter, that putting things off until tomorrow is harmless. But tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next year. And before you even notice, your life is gone, wasted in the soft embrace of excuses. People think the enemy of success is failure, but it's not. The real enemy is comfort, because comfort doesn't challenge you, doesn't hurt you, doesn't scare you, and that's exactly why it destroys you. When you are comfortable, your body relaxes, your mind weakens, your hunger fades. You lose the fire that drives people to greatness. Look at history, look at warriors, athletes, leaders, entrepreneurs. Their rise did not come from sitting in cozy beds or playing it safe. It came from war, from struggle, from chaos, from stepping into situations that terrified them and forced them to adapt. Pressure builds diamonds and comfort creates dust. You cannot expect to grow if you are never tested, never broken down, never pushed to limits you didn't even know existed. Comfort breeds weakness because it convinces you to settle. It tells you to accept average when extraordinary is still out there waiting for you. You get used to small pleasures, quick dopamine hits, meaningless entertainment, and you forget the discipline that builds kings. Comfort robs you of your urgency. It makes you believe you have time, that you can coast, that success will come eventually. But success is not waiting for you. Success is running fast, and if you don't chase it with relentless energy, you'll never catch it. Comfortable man doesn't chase, he strolls, and strolling gets you nowhere in a world that demands speed, aggression, and drive. The most dangerous trap is that comfort feels good in the moment. That soft couch, that lazy day, that extra hour of sleep. It feels harmless, it feels deserved. But what you don't realize is every comfortable choice takes a piece of your strength away. Every time you choose comfort over discipline, you teach your mind to surrender. You teach yourself that weakness is acceptable, and once that becomes your standard, it becomes your life. Suddenly, you're not chasing dreams anymore. You're just existing. You're just breathing air, waiting for days to pass, and that's how most people die long before their heart stops beating. When you step into discomfort, everything changes. The cold shower, the hard workout, the extra hours of work when you're tired, the risk that makes your stomach twist. These things forge you. They sharpen your will. They make you unshakable in a world where everyone else is fragile. Most people can't handle pressure, can't handle pain, can't handle sacrifice because they've trained their whole life in the art of being comfortable. They fold at the first sign of difficulty. They quit when it hurts. They break when it gets heavy. And the one who refuses to bow to comfort, the one who embraces discomfort as a lifestyle, that person becomes unstoppable. So understand this. Every time you feel tempted to choose the easy road, remember it is not harmless. It is building weakness inside you. Comfort is a drug, and every hit numbs your ambition a little more. The only cure is to deliberately chase what's hard, to choose what scares you, to walk into pain instead of away from it. That is where growth lives, where strength is built, where the kind of success you dream about actually hides. Discipline is the foundation of every great achievement, and it is the only thing that will carry you through when motivation disappears. Motivation is temporary. It's a spark. It comes and goes depending on how you feel, depending on your mood, depending on whether life is treating you well that day. You wake up inspired, you go hard for a few hours, maybe a few days, but then life throws stress at you, distractions creep in, your body feels tired, and suddenly motivation is gone. That is why people quit. They build their lives on emotion instead of discipline. But discipline is not emotional. Discipline does not care how you feel. Discipline is action regardless of mood, regardless of energy, regardless of circumstances. The strongest people in the world are not the ones who are motivated every day. They are the ones who are disciplined enough to act when they don't want to. Think about it. The man who goes to the gym only when he feels motivated will never build the body he dreams of. The woman who studies only when she feels inspired will never master her craft. The entrepreneur who only works when it feels exciting will never build an empire. It is the ones who show up every single day, rain or shine, happy or depressed, motivated or not, who eventually break through. Discipline is what turns average people into machines. Discipline is built by keeping promises to yourself. Every time you say you will do something and you actually follow through, you strengthen your mind. You create a pattern where your brain knows that your words mean something. On the other hand, every time you break a promise to yourself, every time you say you will wake up early and you don't, every time you say you will work out and you skip it, you destroy trust with yourself. You teach your mind that your words are meaningless, and that is why so many people lack self-belief. They don't trust themselves because they have built a habit of quitting. Discipline is how you rebuild that trust, how you develop certainty that no matter what, you will show up. When discipline becomes your default, you stop negotiating with yourself. You don't argue in your head about whether you should get up or not, whether you should do the work or not, whether you should push through or give up. You simply act. It becomes automatic. People who live by discipline look robotic to the outside world, but what they really are is free. Free from the weakness of emotions, free from the chains of laziness, free from the inconsistency that ruins most people's dreams. Motivation makes you a slave to your feelings. Discipline makes you the master of your reality. Discipline also sharpens focus. In a world full of distractions, it is discipline that keeps you on track. Your phone will try to pull you away, entertainment will try to pull you away, comfort will try to pull you away, but discipline is the anchor that holds you to your mission. While everyone else is scrolling, relaxing, wasting their lives, the disciplined person is stacking bricks day after day, building something the world cannot ignore. That consistency compounds. A little effort every day for years builds empires. And the difference between those who achieve it and those who don't is never motivation. It is always discipline. So understand this clearly. Motivation may start the journey, but discipline finishes it. Motivation is the ignition, but discipline is the engine that keeps running when the fire dies out. The one who learns to act without needing to feel like it, the one who shows up when everything in them screams not to, that is the one who will always rise above the rest. Rejection is not the end of the road. It is the fuel that pushes you to drive harder, faster, and further than anyone else. Most people are so afraid of hearing the word no that they never even try. They fear rejection more than they crave success, so they play it safe, keep their dreams small, and convince themselves that failure means they are not good enough. But rejection is not proof of weakness. Rejection is proof that you are in the game, that you are swinging, that you are daring to reach beyond what others think is possible. Every rejection is a step forward, not backward. The truth is this: nobody who has ever achieved greatness escaped rejection. The successful were told 1,000 times that they weren't talented enough, weren't smart enough, weren't worthy enough. They were doubted, ridiculed, laughed at, shut out. And yet, those same people used rejection as fuel. Every no became a spark. Every insult became gasoline. They did not shrink when the world doubted them. They expanded. They did not stop when doors were slammed in their faces. They built their own doors. That is the difference between the weak and the strong. One lets rejection break them. The other lets rejection build them. When someone tells you no, they are not writing your destiny. They are simply exposing their own limits, not yours. The person who rejects you is telling you what they cannot see, not what you cannot do. If you let their words control your actions, you are giving them power over your life. But if you take their rejection and turn it into fuel, you take control. You stop being a victim of opinions and become the master of your own path. That is why rejection is not to be feared, it is to be hunted. The more rejection you face, the stronger you become, the thicker your skin grows, the sharper your focus gets. Rejection also refines you. Every time you fail, every time someone shuts you down, you are given a chance to improve, to adapt, to rise. The weak run from this. They hide from the lesson, they escape into excuses. They quit because their ego cannot handle being told they are not ready. But the strong lean into it. They study the rejection, they learn from it. They sharpen their craft until the same people who once rejected them cannot ignore them anymore. Rejection is feedback disguised as pain, and the one who can take that pain without losing their fire becomes unstoppable. Think about the greatest achievements in the world. Behind them lies a story of rejection. The best-selling author who was turned down by dozens of publishers. The billionaire entrepreneur who was told their idea would never work. The athlete who was cut from the team before becoming a champion. What separates them from the crowd is not luck, it is resilience. They understood that rejection was not a signal to quit, but a signal to push harder. Every no was a reminder that they were on the right track, because success is always hidden behind walls of rejection. The more rejection you face, the hungrier you become. Each time someone doubts you, each time someone shuts a door, each time someone mocks your dream, you add more fuel to the fire inside you. That fire is what keeps you moving when everyone else has stopped. Rejection is energy, rejection is momentum. Rejection is proof that you are aiming high enough to be noticed. The person who fears rejection aims too low, stays too safe, and dies with regret. The person who embraces rejection, who seeks it out, who eats it for breakfast, is the one who becomes unbreakable. Rejection is not the end of the road. It is the fuel that pushes you to drive harder, faster, and further than anyone else. Most people are so afraid of hearing the word no that they never even try. They fear rejection more than they crave success, so they play it safe, keep their dreams small, and convince themselves that failure means they are not good enough. But rejection is not proof of weakness. Rejection is proof that you are in the game, that you are swinging, that you are daring to reach beyond what others think is possible. Every rejection is a step forward, not backward. The truth is this: nobody who has ever achieved greatness escaped rejection. The successful were told 1,000 times that they weren't talented enough, weren't smart enough, weren't worthy enough. They were doubted, ridiculed, laughed at, shut out, and yet those same people used rejection as fuel. Every no became a spark. Every insult became gasoline. They did not shrink when the world doubted them, they expanded. They did not stop when doors were slammed in their faces. They built their own doors. That is the difference between the weak and the strong. One lets rejection break them. The other lets rejection build them. When someone tells you no, they are not writing your destiny. They are simply exposing their own limits, not yours. The person who rejects you is telling you what they cannot see, not what you cannot do. If you let their words control your actions, you are giving them power over your life. But if you take their rejection and turn it into fuel, you take control. You stop being a victim of opinions and become the master of your own path. That is why rejection is not to be feared. It is to be hunted. The more rejection you face, the stronger you become, the thicker your skin grows, the sharper your focus gets. Rejection also refines you. Every time you fail, every time someone shuts you down, you are given a chance to improve, to adapt, to rise. The weak run from this, they hide from the lesson, they escape into excuses, they quit because their ego cannot handle being told they are not ready. But the strong lean into it. They study the rejection, they learn from it, they sharpen their craft until the same people who once rejected them cannot ignore them anymore. Rejection is feedback disguised as pain, and the one who can take that pain without losing their fire becomes unstoppable. Think about the greatest achievements in the world. Behind them lies a story of rejection, the best-selling author who was turned down by dozens of publishers. The The billionaire entrepreneur who was told their idea would never work. The athlete who was cut from the team before becoming a champion. What separates them from the crowd is not luck, it is resilience. They understood that rejection was not a signal to quit, but a signal to push harder. Every no was a reminder that they were on the right track, because success is always hidden behind walls of rejection. The more rejection you face, the hungrier you become. Each time someone doubts you, each time someone shuts a door, each time someone mocks your dream, you add more fuel to the fire inside you. That fire is what keeps you moving when everyone else has stopped. Rejection is energy. Rejection is momentum. Rejection is proof that you are aiming high enough to be noticed. The person who fears rejection aims too low, stays too safe, and dies with regret. The person who embraces rejection, who seeks it out, who eats it for breakfast, is the one who becomes unbreakable. Sacrifice is the cost of greatness, and anyone who tells you otherwise is lying to you. You cannot have everything you want without giving up something in return. Success demands blood. It demands time. It demands energy. It demands focus. And sometimes it demands people you thought would be with you forever. Sacrifice is not optional. It is the toll you must pay to cross the bridge into the life you say you want. The problem is that most people talk about success like they're willing to do anything for it. But when the moment comes to give up comfort, to let go of distractions, to cut out toxic relationships, they hesitate. They want victory but refuse the sacrifice, and that is why they stay trapped in mediocrity. Every second you spend scrolling, partying, sleeping in, wasting time with people who add no value to your life. That is energy stolen from your future. Sacrifice means making ruthless decisions. It means saying no when everyone else is saying yes. It means choosing the grind over the party, choosing discipline over pleasure, choosing to work while others rest. People will call you obsessed. They will call you extreme. They will laugh at your dedication. But in the end, those same people will look at what you built and wish they had sacrificed the way you did. Sacrifice also reveals who you truly are. Anyone can talk about ambition when it costs them nothing. Words are cheap, but the moment sacrifice enters the picture, the truth comes out. Are you willing to lose sleep? Are you willing to miss out on comfort, to give up leisure, to distance yourself from people who hold you back? If the answer is no, then your dreams will remain exactly that, dreams. But if you are willing to let go, to strip away the unnecessary, to carry the burden most will never carry, you prove you are worthy of the life you claim you want. It's not just material sacrifices either, it's emotional ones. You will have to let go of the need to be liked, the need to be understood, the need for approval. People will not support you when you start rising. They will misunderstand you, they will criticize you, they will doubt you. Sacrifice means being okay with walking alone, with losing validation, with being the outsider. Most people cannot handle that kind of isolation, so they water down their goals to stay accepted. But the ones who rise to greatness accept the sacrifice of being misunderstood, because they know that approval from the crowd is worthless compared to respect earned through results. Sacrifice also sharpens your focus. When you cut away distractions, when you say no to temptations, you channel your energy like a laser. All of your power, all of your time, all of your mind becomes invested in one direction. That intensity is what separates winners from losers. Most people spread themselves thin, dabbling in everything but mastering nothing. The ones who sacrifice everything unnecessary and pour themselves fully into their vision are the ones who build empires. Sacrifice is not about losing, it is about trading. You give up something temporary in exchange for something permanent. You trade nights of fun for a future of freedom. You trade short-term pleasure for long-term power. You trade being liked now for being respected forever. The truth is, sacrifice hurts. It hurts to walk away from comfort. It hurts to cut people out. It hurts to miss out on pleasures that everyone else is enjoying. But that pain is the signal that you are on the right path. Nothing worth having comes without loss. The weight you carry, the things you let go of, the discipline you enforce on yourself, all of it is proof that you are paying the price that others are too weak to pay. Sacrifice is not punishment. It is the contract of greatness written in sweat and signed with blood. The road to true success is lonely, and most people are not built to walk it. Everyone wants to be surrounded. Everyone wants applause. Everyone wants validation. But the reality is that when you chase something extraordinary, you will often find yourself standing alone. The crowd disappears when the struggle begins. Friends vanish when sacrifice demands too much. Support fades when people realize you are not living by their rules. And this is exactly why so few people ever reach the top, because they cannot handle the silence, they cannot handle the isolation, they cannot handle the weight of walking a path that nobody else understands. When you choose greatness, you automatically separate yourself from the majority. You no longer think like them, act like them, or live like them. You no longer share their excuses, their distractions, their laziness, and because of that, you will lose them. They will mock you, call you obsessed, label you arrogant, or say you've changed. But what they really mean is that you've stepped away from the comfort of mediocrity, and they can't follow you. The lonely road is not a curse. It is the natural filter that eliminates the weak and leaves only the ones strong enough to keep moving forward. Loneliness is the training ground for champions. When you are alone, you face yourself. No noise, no distractions, no fake validation, just you and your mission. That solitude forces you to grow, forces you to build self-reliance, forces you to sharpen your vision until nothing can shake it. Most people crumble in isolation because they've spent their entire lives depending on others to validate their existence. But those who can thrive alone, those who can carry themselves without needing constant approval, become unbreakable. The lonely road also tests your belief in your vision. When no one claps for you, when no one believes in you, when nobody is watching, will you still push forward? This is where most people quit. They want instant recognition, quick results, constant feedback, but greatness doesn't come with applause in the beginning. It comes with doubt, with silence, with people ignoring you. And if you can keep working in that silence, if you can keep grinding when nobody notices, you are building something unstoppable. Success always happens in the dark before it shines in the light. Walking the lonely road also requires cutting ties. Not everyone who starts with you is meant to finish with you. Some people will hold you back. Some people will drain your energy. Some people will never understand your hunger. Keeping them close out of fear of being alone is what kills most dreams. You must be willing to outgrow people, to walk away, to stand by yourself if that's what it takes. The road to success is not a group trip. It is a solo mission, and once you accept that, the isolation becomes your advantage, not your weakness. Silence is where clarity is born. While the world distracts itself with noise, the lonely man builds. While everyone else drowns in constant chatter, the focused one uses isolation to plan, to execute, to sharpen his mind. That is why so many powerful breakthroughs come in solitude. The lonely road is where you discover who you are without the influence of others. It is where you realize how much strength you really carry, how much potential you really hold, and how far you are truly willing to go. Most people will never understand this, because they are terrified of being alone. They will choose shallow friendships, empty entertainment, meaningless conversations, just so they don't have to face the quiet. But the quiet is where greatness grows. The quiet is where your character is forged. The quiet is where your empire begins.